Henderson. And now here's Kelly. Barini! On the shoulder of the defender, who I fear may be responsible for an own goal.
The only goal of last Thursday's game in Edinburgh separates Liverpool and Hearts. And tonight's Liverpool lineup picked to try and secure safe passage into the group stages of the Europa League. Includes the names of the likes of Gerrard, Suarez. It's a strong lineup. And in the last hour, it's become evident Andy Carroll is about to join West Ham. More details on the way. Hearts don't believe this playoff tie is beyond them, and an early away goal would do them a power of good. John McGlynn's team are finding it hard to win, but they're hard to beat. Victory tonight will be their finest hour in European club competition. It's an Anglo-Scottish contest live here on ESPN. A full house expected for the 148th match in European club competition to be played here at Anfield. Now, Jim Jeffries is Hearts through and through, and Didi Hamann is a hero from Istanbul. First things first, who would you like to see here now that Andy Carroll is West Ham bound?
Well, I think it's become evident that the club needs a centre forward and another winger. So Sturridge, Walcott, Huntelaar have been taunted and linked with the club. I think if we see 2 out of them 3 players come the 31st of August, I think the fans will all be happy.
Yeah, with Andy gone, they need to strengthen quickly in the forward positions.
Yes, they need a centre forward. That was their problem last season. They didn't score enough goals. The goals again on Sunday come from 2 set pieces. I think they need somebody who can create chances, create goals like Walcott can, or Sturridge, and somebody who puts him away like Huntelaar can maybe.
Yeah, he's a good player. Is this damage limitation, or is it a huge shock on the cards tonight, Jim?
Well, I think Hearts did themselves proud last week. I mean, I think they were unlucky to lose the game, and I think it shows in the team selection tonight for Liverpool that the respect they got last week, because it's a strong Liverpool team. And when I seen it, I thought if they played a weekend side, then you just never know. But tonight, Liverpool look very strong, and I think if they can keep in the time and the longer it goes, you never know, they might get nervous. But here's hoping for a good showing from Hearts.
You're quite right, Jim. You never know. Team news on the way, but more now on the news that Andy Carroll is West Ham bound. Over to Daryl Curry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ray. That is the story, of course, dominating all the talk down here in the tunnel tonight. And I can tell you, Andy Carroll is in London. He's with West Ham at the moment, doing his medical. I'm led to believe initially it's a loan deal with a fee of around £2 million to be paid to Liverpool, and then possibly the deal could be completed at the end of the season. I believe that's dependent on West Ham staying in the Premier League. Possibly a fee of around 17 million if they do indeed complete the deal at the end of the season, meaning Liverpool would make a substantial loss on Andy Carroll. So it seems that is a bit of business that will be done ahead of the transfer window. Elsewhere, Charlie Adam, I am told tonight that 2 bids have arrived at Liverpool for Charlie Adam. One from Stoke, another one from a club in Turkey. It's up to Charlie Adam now. He's here tonight in his suit, not involved in the matchday squad, so he controls his own destiny. And as for Jay Spearing, I believe a transfer will be completed, a loan deal for him to Bolton, at least until the January transfer window. He'll be away for 6 months' time. So some notable absentees. Let's get the rest of the team news now with Derek Ray.
Thanks very much, Darryl. I think it's going to be a frantic Friday over at Melwood. But first things first, Brendan Rodgers has got to pick the right team to see off Heart of Midlothian for the 2nd time in 7 days. No surprise, based on what Darryl has just reported, that Andy Carroll, Charlie Adam, Jay Spearing not involved. 17-year-old Raheem Sterling, who has made such a big impact in the last couple of matches, will begin on the bench, as will Fabio Borini. And that creates an opportunity for 18-year-old Adam Morgan up front. Morgan, a local boy, makes his first competitive start. Stuart Downing has handed a chance to shine at left back. Perhaps a portent of things to come for the England international. As far as Hearts are concerned, John McGlynn gives a big thumbs up to the team that put so much into the Tynecastle leg. Captain Marius Zaliukas has been struggling with a dead leg, but the Lithuanian, who was replaced at half-time in Sunday's goalless draw away to Aberdeen, will give it a go alongside Andy Webster, the unfortunate scorer of the late own goal 7 nights ago. David Templeton has been at the centre of much transfer speculation today. If a serious bid were to come in from, say, Rangers or Bristol City, Hearts, given current financial realities, might well be tempted to do business. And Hearts are certainly going to have to swim against the tide of history. Never before in continental competition have they lost the first leg at home and gone on to progress. Ray.
Didi, what do you make of this Liverpool lineup tonight? Obviously, they've got to get the job done, but there's a big game against Arsenal at the weekend. And I say they need to win that. They don't want to go into an international break struggling for Premier League points.
Yeah, that's a good thing that there's an international break afterwards, so there's only one more game before that. I think Brendan Rodgers would have liked to rest a few more senior players and bring maybe 2-3 more younger players in, but given us how well Hearts did in the first leg, and as we've just heard, they were lucky to win the game. He opted for a very strong lineup with Suarez, Gerrard, Alan Henderson. It's not far off his best team. Obviously, some players are rested, but they are on the bench. So if they needed to come on, they will be in the bench and ready to go on.
But when you've got Suarez in the team, you've got goals, and that is a compliment to Hearts this evening. Downing at left back, Adam Morgan in the team too. Lots of things are changing here at Anfield. The Liverpool fans will be really excited by what might happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brendan Rodgers come out this week saying that Stuart Downing may have to change his position and play more in the full-back position. I think it's due to the fact that they haven't got another left-back. Glenn Johnson had to play on the left for the last 2 games. So sometimes that change can help somebody take his game to another level, and I hope Downing is the same.
Come on, Jim, tell us about this Hearts team. What's the game plan going to be? How are they going to go about taking on the Reds of Liverpool?
I think John will just give us more of the same as they did last week. Their attitude was terrific. They were up and at him, and they gave it their best shot. You can see he's picked the same team with the same formation, and he's hoping that Templeton, playing off Sutton, can maybe cause their defence a few problems. He's certainly got the ability to do that.
Now, come on, Templeton, how good is he? How much is he worth?
Oh, he's an exceptional talent.
What advice would you give to him? Because people are talking about him moving on in the next few days.
Well, it depends. You know, the club financially, the club have been...
Is he good enough for the Premier League in England yet?
Well, it depends what level in the Premier League, and you know, I'm sure he could play in the Premier League eventually. Be one for the future if a big club wanted to come in and take him, because he's got loads of talent.
Look, I know you know him well, but what about going to Rangers, 3rd division of the Scottish Football League? Would that aid his development?
They might not have a say in it because of the fact that you know, the club may be looking to pull money in and cash in on him at this stage. It all depends what the sort of money they'll get offered. I'm sure there's more clubs than Rangers would be interested in David Templeton, and it depends if he wants to play in the 3rd division. But sometimes at the end of the day, as you can see with some players, money talks, and that might be the deciding factor. But I hope Hearts keep him. He's a terrific talent, and they're a young side. And you know, but as I said, it looks to me like you know, what we're hearing is that before the deadline, I think John McGlynn will be hoping that it passes by tomorrow.
We will see. Let's hear from the Hearts manager, John McGlynn, with Daryl Curry.
Well, Ray, thanks again. John, good to see you. How would you sum up the task that lies ahead tonight? How big a challenge will this be?
No, it's a massive challenge, there's no doubt about that, but I think we're up for it. You know, we showed last week at Tynecastle that we're no mugs, and we do have a threat. We're hoping to come here tonight and cause a threat. Obviously Liverpool have put in Gerrard and Suarez and one or two others, so you know, they've showed a lot of respect by doing that, and it's up to us to go and compete in the game, make sure that we cause them problems. Not give Liverpool any time in the ball. You know, we did that very well last week at Tynecastle, and we're trying to set up in a similar manner tonight.
Regardless of their team selection, that performance at Tynecastle, will that have given all your team, including the young boys, a lot of confidence?
Well, without doubt, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we took a lot of confidence from that. We felt a wee bit aggrieved that we actually lost the game. We felt we'd done enough in the game to get at least a draw, and possibly we could have won the game 1-0 as well. I don't think too many people would have complained if we'd got that. So it has given us a lot of confidence, but we know it's a difficult task here. We know that Liverpool done exceptionally well against Gomel in the last game. You know, in the last round when they came here, and you know, they lost, the won 1-0 away from home Liverpool, but they won here very convincingly against Gomel. So we know that is what they'll be looking for, but we're here looking to cause an upset.
How do you approach this tactically? Because of course you do have to win, but is it a balance between showing ambition and staying in the tie early on?
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, I mean, as long as the scoreline leads Liverpool 0 for a long time, until such times as we can get our noses in front, and then that's great. You know, if it's Liverpool 0 late on in the game, then one goal can be enough to maybe take it to extra time. You know, we obviously need to score, you know, 2 to finish the thing. So that's exactly what we're looking to do. But you know, we keep ourselves in the tie as long as it says Liverpool 0. For us, you know, as I say, the longer it goes, hopefully the more nervous they get, and the more chances we've got to maybe just sneak in a goal, and then who knows.
And unlike Liverpool, you don't have the luxury of having a very big squad. And I heard you say after the game against Aberdeen, you're worried about fatigue. A few days further on, is that still a concern tonight?
Well, we'll never know. You know, the lads have we've done everything possible that you can do to get the guys in good condition to go back into this game tonight. It's a massive game. It takes up a lot of your sort of nervous energy as well, playing in these type of games. But you know, it's hard. We've not got a crystal ball. You know, we've done the best we can. As you say, we've not got the big squad that Liverpool have got to go and just change it as they've done. But the guys we've got in the park will give absolutely everything, that's for sure.
The very best of luck.
Thank you, Darryl. Cheers.
Now you can take the praise or the responsibility because you're his mentor. You started him off, didn't you? You're big mates, you two.
Well, we're both from the same village, and I had John when he was 12 years old when I was a player at Tynecastle and coached the side, and I brought him into the coaching side for the youth team in my first spell at Hearts, and he's gone on to do extremely well. Craig Levine used him really well tactically and watching from the stand, and he's gone on to, you know, be a number one, and he's deserved his chance at Tynecastle, and he's a terrific boy, well organised, and just loves football.
Yeah. You've taught him well. After the break, lots more to come on the way to kick-off here at Anfield. We'll hear from Liverpool's Jordan Henderson on why Brendan Rodgers is the right man to take the club forward.
Everyone's been really impressed, he's been really good, and I think you've seen definitely against Man City that the way that we can play in terms of keeping the ball and taking control of games. And I think if we carry on to do that, I think we'll be successful this season.
A flotilla of tall ships sailed down the Mersey last night and tied up in Liverpool. Andy Carroll is leaving Liverpool on the tide. The question is, who's going to dock at the Kop in the next 24 hours? Well, there's lots of live football from across Europe to look forward to here on ESPN this weekend. On Saturday, after Barclays Premier League action, it's the Bologna AC Milan Serie A match from 7:45. Then on Sunday from the French League, Bordeaux play Nice from 12:45. And then Sunday night back to Serie A, Inter Milan at home to Roma, plus all the weekend's goals from Italy's top flight. Tonight the focus is on the Europa League playoff between Liverpool and Hearts. Place in the group stage, the competition is the prize. Liverpool will go into the game with a 1-0 lead. Hearts are pumped up for this match. Starting for Liverpool, Jordan Henderson, he's yet to feature in the Premier League this season. So tonight is a great opportunity for the 22-year-old to raise his profile and his place in the pecking order in the eyes of new Liverpool boss Brendan Rodgers.
It's a really good competition to be in, and everybody gets the chance to, if they play, to impress the manager and try and get into his starting 11.
Are you seeing the evidence of that already? Players, for instance, like Raheem Sterling had a good game in the Europa League, and he finds himself in the Premier League team.
Yeah, I think Raheem's been brilliant all pre-season, to be honest. Done really well, worked really hard and deserved to play at the weekend, and he done brilliant. So if you can do well in the games and keep training hard, then I'm sure you'll get your chance.
The intensity's probably really stepped up with guys like Nouri Sahin joining and Joe Allen now. So much competition for places, especially in the midfield. I
think that's a good thing for everybody. It's make sure that everybody's at it every day in training, and it can only progress you on as a player. It's a big club, and I need to just keep working hard and fight for my place.
If you look back at the year you've spent here so far, how would you sum it up?
There's lots of ups and downs, but I wouldn't change any of it. I think it definitely changed me as a person. I think I grew up a lot more and became a man, and there was a lot of times where maybe I wasn't playing particularly well, but I would still come back and work on the things, keep training hard and keep my head up.
I remember speaking to you shortly after you signed, and we discussed things like your price tag and the fact that maybe you wouldn't be a focal point here at Liverpool. A year on now, do you think you've dealt with those factors?
At times I think I dealt with it well, at other times I probably didn't. But I've definitely learned from them. Hopefully I can get more starts in the Premier League.
Do you also have to learn how to deal with criticism?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's one big part of it. And people's opinions are going to change and going to be different at any level, I think. So you've just got to do what you know, what you're good at.
How have things changed here? Of course, Kenny Dalglish was giving you all those chances last year. Brendan's the boss now.
When Kenny was here, we had great times and we played some good football at times as well. But when Brendan's came in, I think everyone's been really impressed. He's been really good, and I think you've seen definitely against Man City that the way that we can play in terms of keeping the ball and taking control of games.
After West Brom, you know, some people criticised the team, and yet the manager stressed how well you played for large spells in that game. He seems very level-headed.
Yeah, he is. He won't get carried away, and the players won't get carried away, but we're definitely going in the right direction, and we feel as though we've got a lot more to give.
Jim Jeffries and Didi Hamann in the ESPN lineup tonight. Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. Didi, what are you expecting from him in his second season, and what do you see as his potential, reflecting on what happened last year?
I think he's got to do better than last season. He's done okay last season. He got bought for a lot of money, got a lot of chances. I think he's done okay. You've got to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's only a young kid. He played well at times, but not consistently well enough. And I think he had a look in now. He's here second year. And at Liverpool, you can't take your foot off the gas. You need to perform every day in training and every time you play at Anfield. So I think it's a big year for him because he's got to do better than last year. He's got untold potential. He's been in the England squad. I think he could be a big player for Liverpool.
Henderson was a big signing, Downing's a big signing. How long do you think it takes to change position? And do you see Downing, do you see this as, do you think so, the potential, is he going to become a top left back?
Well, if I was the manager of Hearts tonight, then at some stage, maybe even early, if he's not a regular left back, you should maybe test him out defensively, and I think maybe David Templeton should maybe have a go on that side, and that would really test him if he could do it defensively. But you know, sometimes people take a step back, it's a lot easier, you see the game in front of you, and maybe that's where Brendan Rodgers sees him staking a claim for a place.
You know what, Jim, I love you. You're saying that with a glint in your eye and a smile. You can suddenly see a chance in there. What about Adam Morgan, DD? Andy Carroll's gone, full senior debut, and Raheem Sterling came in, excited people. There's another opportunity for a young man.
Absolutely. Sterling comes in against Hart as well, plays against City, and he's been one of the best players on Sunday. Morgan comes in, he's a terrific finisher. He's got a bullet of a left foot on him, so if he does get a chance in the box, expect him to score. Big opportunity for him tonight. If he does well, he'll be closer to the first team. I think there'll be another forward coming in, but he can't do his chances no harm. It's a terrific opportunity and a great European night at Anfield. So he's just got to have a go, hopefully score, and see what happens afterwards.
OK, there's no doubt what the major talking about has been as Liverpool fans are gathering here for tonight's game. Who replaces, who comes in for Andy Carroll?
Probably the likes of Dempsey, probably Daniel Sturridge. Probably need a bit more flary players into the side, a bit of pace, because that's what Brendan Rodgers is bringing.
Maybe Dempsey, someone like that, if it's still available. Yeah. That's what we need, some goals.
Xabi Alonso.
Clint Dempsey is one of my favourites. Watching him, he's a good footballer, good attacking and coming back.
It's Daniel Sturridge and Clint Dempsey.
I'd like Adam Johnson, but obviously he's gone to Sunderland.
Dempsey, Walcott. Love to see Owen back at the club if we could.
It's going to be a busy 24 hours because something has got to happen. Let's hear from the Liverpool manager, Brendan Rodgers. Here he is with Daryl Curry.
Well, Ray, thank you very much. Brendan, really good to see you. Lots to discuss tonight, but first of all, let's start with the game. Are you still wary of the threat Hearts pose, even though you're in control of this tie?
Yeah, absolutely. We're certainly not complacent. You know, our focus and concentration is very much on performing well and getting a good result. So, and at 1-0, the game is still in the balance. But we're at home. Got a strong team, strong group, got brilliant supporters, and hopefully we can finish the job off.
There are some notable absentees, including Andy Carroll. And on this day of great speculation, would you give us the official line as to why he's not involved?
Well, Andy's at the moment at West Ham. Going through a medical there, so obviously he's not here involved. So it's very simple. It's one where, you know, the club here have made a monumental investment in Big Andy, and obviously at this moment in time he's not playing. So and he'd made it very clear that he wants to play games right from when we first met in the summer. So. And obviously this is the last chance for him to maybe go and do that. And then obviously, like I said, we can then assess it over the course of the next 6 months to a season. So that's the simple answer.
OK, so as for the team you have selected then, young Adam Morgan comes in today to make his first competitive start. Where does he fit into the system and what do you think he might add to the team?
Well, our structure is 4-3-3. Obviously, you get Luis Suarez through the middle, Jordan Henderson and young Adam Morgan coming in from the sides, but much more central in their support. So at times, as I said, their movements will be flexible. They'll be inside and outside. We get 3 players to control the game, hopefully in the middle of the field. And obviously we've got attacking fullbacks that can go and get forward and join in on the outside. So we're hopefully we can just keep the momentum going from Sunday. We had an excellent performance, and it's important that we continue with that, and that'll be the idea tonight.
You say attacking fullbacks. Stuart Downing gets a go at left back tonight. From what you've seen, do you think that's a role he can really make his own?
Yeah, I think first and foremost he's happy to play the role. It's not something that I've forced onto him. He's a player that I've seen a number of years ago playing that position for Middlesbrough a number of times, and in particular in the run to the UEFA Cup final. So, and on talking with him a number of times, it's a position that he's happy to play, and I think it's a position in the modern game that suits his strength. You know, he's very good coming from deep. He's a wonderful crosser of the ball, and he can pass the ball well. So you see the modern day fullback now is a lot of them are actually transformed wingers. So I've got no doubt he can come in and do a good job there, and like I said, he played a half hour up at Hearts and done very well when he came up.
Appreciate your time. The best of luck tonight, Brendan.
Thank you. Thanks.
A final word from Jim Jeffries. Indeed, here, man. Brendan Rodgers, he's assured, he's confident. What do you feel about the way he started out as the new Liverpool boss?
I think he's done very well. He says all the right things. I think he bought into the culture of the football club from day one. I think the fans appreciate that. And obviously now results need to follow. They had a disappointing result against West Brom, very good performance, where they should have won on Sunday, and big games to come up. Sooner or later they have to start winning games, but I think they've got a very good man in charge now, and things are looking bright.
Look, it all makes perfect sense when you see it, really, as Brendan Rodgers said, that Andy Carroll wants to play football. He's not going to play here. Go and play, and everyone can get on with their lives. What does your heart say? What does your head say about this tonight from Hearts' perspective?
Well, you can see it's a great occasion for some of these young players to come to a place like this, in this atmosphere. The Hearts supporters will come down and enjoy it. I hope that they make a good start and that they can maybe keep in the game for the first 20-25 minutes. Important. I think a lot will rely on Zaliukas and Webster's experience, and if they get that, you just never know. They might surprise a few.
OK, Liverpool have to win the game. They're expected to win the game, but what else do you want to see from this Liverpool team this evening?
Just a performance where they press the team early and high up the pitch, win the ball over. They won the ball in good areas on Sunday, and this is why they created chance after chance, and I hope we see the same again. They've done it against Gomel. You want them to create chances, Suarez to get on the score sheet, and yeah, just some good performances of the young players down in it left back. You just want a performance where they go forward, hopefully score a few goals and go through. OK, we're just about all set. The draw is in Monaco tomorrow for the group stage of the Europa League. This match is going to be settled on the Merseyside Riviera here tonight, and it's wonderful, it's beautiful. We're all set. Liverpool red-hot favourites to go through, but an early away goal for Hearts would set a few pulses racing. The ESPN commentary team for tonight's match, Craig Burley and Derek Ray.
Thank you very much, Ray. Good evening, everyone. Another potentially absorbing meeting of two teams from either side of the border. There's nothing contrived about Liverpool and Heart of Midlothian. The Liverpool team looks, if anything, stronger than the one that took the field at Tynecastle. The likes of Steven Gerrard and Luis Suarez will be involved this time. Stuart Downing starts at left back, something we might see a lot more of in the future. 18-year-old Adam Morgan makes his first competitive start, Craig.
Well, the job been made more difficult tonight by this Liverpool team selected. Carragher comes in, but full of experience. The midfield three operated very, very well, I think, against Man City, especially Joe Allen. It just sits in front of the back four. Young Morgan does get a start. He is a good striker. He's came through the ranks here, of course, flanked by Suarez as well. So a very, very strong Liverpool side.
Hearts go with the same team that battled so valiantly in the first leg. Lithuanian defender Marius Zaliukas was an injury doubt, but will play from the outset. If you compare and contrast based on Sunday's 0-0 draw away to Aberdeen, one change from that side, another member of the Lithuanian contingent, Arvydas Novikovas, is preferred to Andrew Driver.
Well, I think the important thing is Hearts were competitive in their first game, and certainly what they weren't against Spurs last year, so they haven't given themselves a mountain to climb. It will be a very, very difficult night for them, but they've got to enjoy it. They've got plenty of experience at the back. The four in midfield have to give them some sort of protection, and of course they cannot leave Sutton and Templeton isolated. It's going to be difficult, but it's not impossible.
After Midlothian make their first official visit to Anfield, knowing full well they are massive underdogs. But there are nearly 3,000 maroon-clad supporters ready and willing to roar them on. And the record scorer in Europe for Hearts is in attendance. John Robertson, who's working for radio here on Merseyside this evening. Liverpool missed out on Europe last term, and as a club that for so many years set the standard for others to live up to in continental competition, make no mistake, European nights at Anfield have an atmosphere all on their own. A meeting with SPL opposition reminds us that Scots have made gargantuan contributions to the success of Liverpool Football Club. Pride of place, of course, goes to the legendary Bill Shankly, but no fewer than 155 Scottish players have turned out for the Liverpool first team, including Andrew Hannah, who was recruited as their very first captain. The stage is set then. Two football clubs oozing tradition. Liverpool against Hearts, the second act, next on ESPN.
Number 24, Joe Allen. Number 14, John Robertson.